Hey guys, my name is Andrew, this is Hard Hat Gaming, and here is 5 scenery tips to improve your parks in Rollercoaster Tycoon 2. Before I start, I did want to mention that this video won't be getting into like the technical side of building architecture and supports, and I won't be using any custom scenery objects in this video. These tips will mainly focus on easier and frankly less time-consuming ways to make your park look great without having to put together huge structures piece by piece. Alright, that being said, let's get into it. Number 1, building more trees. One of the easiest ways to improve your park's appearance is just by spamming trees everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. Whether you're in a jungle or a forest-themed scenario, adding a ton of trees just looks more natural in the context of the game. And a quick tip from Reddit user Spoculon, he said that using an odd number of tree types when planting makes your forest look more natural. I don't know why this works, but it does. Be careful of this tip and make sure you use the right combination of trees. Make sure the tree types you choose to place in your park work well together. This park doesn't look too bad, and frankly the rides don't look too bad put together like this, but if we just spam trees everywhere, suddenly it looks a bit more vibrant. Also, a quick note, wait until you're done with your park to do this, as it might make building in the rest of your park more difficult, and you're going to have to knock down a lot of trees to do so. Number 2, adding in water features. Adding water features to your park is a great way to make your park just look a bit more fancy. The water features in Rollercoaster Tycoon 2 use looped animations to give your park a bit more movement. You can use the waterfall, water jet, and standard fountains to make some really ornate looking water features in your park. Theme parks in real life often use water features as decorations, which just makes the use of them in the game that much more realistic. This Amity Airfield looks pretty good. It has some decent rides, but it could look a bit better. If you use the first tip and add a couple fountains to go along with the trees, we have a much more dynamic looking park. To build fountains, I usually use the waterfall pieces and the fountain pieces. First lower the ground about 3 units, then bring up the water 1 unit. After that, hold shift to put the waterfall pieces along the wall of the fountain. Then place railings around the whole structure and add a fountain right in the middle. When building these water features, feel free to add more bodies of water, and you can even go a little bit crazy like I did. Number 3, building fences. This one might not be as obvious, but adding in fences around your pathways and even around some of your rides can create a very realistic feel to your park if you use them correctly. Obviously, not every piece of your park needs to be contained inside of a fence, but oftentimes it can help your roller coasters look a bit more realistic when there's a chain link fence around it, just like in real life. Number 4, terraforming. Terraforming is a great way to keep your park from looking too flat and bland. Real life land has hills and valleys, and your theme park should too. Obviously, it's okay to have flat areas in your park, but by using the land editing tool, adding hills makes your park look a bit more three-dimensional and less flat. This roller coaster looks good, but if we add some hills and some trees, we suddenly have a coaster that looks even better. Number 5, adding buildings. Designing buildings in Rollercoaster Tycoon is definitely the most tedious, time-consuming, and sometimes frustrating tip on this list. And while Rollercoaster Tycoon architecture is a topic that probably needs its own video, which I plan on making in the future, I thought I would at least showcase a few designs that you can use in your park to make your park look a little bit more realistic. First is just a basic house, which can be useful for putting outside the property of the park to look like a neighborhood. I just use a rectangle shape and add some abstract windows and brick pieces. First, place a perimeter around your house, and make sure to leave places for your windows and just build upwards. Once your walls are all done, add a scenery block roof. This roof design is one that I use often and one that I find looks pretty realistic. Once you're done with that, just add a walkway and some flowers and you're done. The second design is a clothing store to use as a way to sell t-shirts. I just like to place the t-shirt stall inside of the building as a way to sell shirts and make it look a bit more realistic. This design is pretty similar to the first one, except a storefront usually has more windows, so make sure to leave space for those. This time, I use a tan roof to simulate concrete instead of the white I used earlier. Once you're done with the tile roof, just make sure to mouse over the roof tiles and hold control while you do it. After that, place a medium wall around the roof tiles. Then I like to add an air conditioning unit on top with railings, a cogwheel, and a steel plate on top. Then just finish it off with a steel pipe and a sign, and you're done. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more content like this. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time.